Welcome to Inside the Firm, a podcast dedicated to small business owners and hosted by entrepreneurs, Alex, Gore, and Lance Cayko. Each week, they take you on their journey of how to start, run, and grow a business by bringing you inside their architecture and real estate development firm. Get a behind-the-scenes tour of how these business leaders manage their clients and foster company culture while creating new and innovative projects. And now your hosts, Alex, Gore, and Lance Cayko.
Welcome to another episode of Inside the Firm. We are Alex and Lance luxury division of Pella. Cayko and
the
Gore.
duo that your mom warned you about.
Exactly. They're like, don't just stay away from those guys. And you want to know why they said that?
Why?
It's because they'll put you on a rocket ship.
Wow, seriously?
A rocket ship of learning Revit.
Those boys are crazy.
And the parents didn't even listen to the second part. They're like, you can't go on a rocket ship. They're not safe yet. You know, I'm still blowing them up.
These are facts.
Yeah, Bezos, you don't want to go on that shape of a rocket ship. So it's not parent approved. But go behind their back, go to RevitRocketship.com, discover how to model to mimic how construction is built, up your game in Revit, up your professionalism, up your confidence. Go check it out. Money back guaranteed, RevitRocketship.com.
This episode is also brought to you by A.R.E. As more businesses and tenants demand green building in their buildings, LEED certification is more important than ever, and while A.R.E. is known for being red, they can help you go green. A.R.E. provides thousands of LEED reports from building product manufacturers on how their products can help you make the green choice that's right for your project. Head over to ARCAT.com and find the information you need for LEED. And if you are going to be at the AIA convention, please stop by the ARCAT booth. They will be there during the whole expo, but we will specifically be there. Me and Al, and we are giving out free handshakes, free high fives, free fist bumps, free head nods, all of the above.
Winks? Oh, double guns.
Double guns. Yep, all of that. And say hello. We'll be podcasting live from the booth. You also want to check out Pella Luxury. You have never experienced a brand like this before. The collection of brands within the luxury division of Pella are the conversation starters, the pioneers of industry who provide window and door solutions to discerning architects, the building industry, and beyond. They have decades of experience creating things no one else in the world is creating, and the collection of brands are brought together to complement and build on one another. They don't push beyond the limits. They set them. Explore PellaLuxury.com/the firm. That's PellaLuxury.com/the firm today. Follow that link, support us, and we will support them, etc.
Help us help you.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, I wanted to revisit one small item of last podcast because I think it's important. Maybe we touched upon it, but I think it might be the most important part, so that's why I'm revisiting it. So we talked about why it's okay to send someone home, to send yourself home also, and if you have a business partner, maybe for them to send you home. And the reason, the big thing we went over is because your attitude is affecting someone else, right? Remember that?
Yep.
They're affecting the whole team. But what I think it's now even more important is that if you are in that emotional area where you need to be sent home and you aren't sent home, you're not going to make good decisions. Whatever your next task is going to be, you're going to come at it grumpy. You're going to come at it, like if it's physical work, you might go too hard. You might break something. You might throw down something in anger. If it's intellectual work, someone might be asking you a question and you could be giving them short replies. You could be arguing just to argue. I know you like to do that sometimes.
I love it.
And that's actually why I'm here. That's why I'm here is for that. But you basically are at a place where you've ramped yourself up so much that you are on this train that you aren't going to be able to make good decisions. So you just need to go home. And that's why it's worth it when Lance said, "Oh, we pay them for the whole day. We're not concerned about it." Because the trade-off is they stay. Okay, now they stay and make bad decisions. You just paid them for making bad decisions. Then you paid them again for fixing all those bad decisions because it's going to take time to fix all those bad decisions. So take the L, treat it as a learning lesson, and move it on. So that's what I wanted to rehash there.
Yeah.
Second thing I want to rehash, because it keeps going up, is the inflation numbers.
Yay.
It's at 8.6 this month. If you aren't following it, that's why you follow Inside the Firm, to let you know. I think they said it's the highest in 40 years.
It's just so exciting.
It's so exciting.
I'm excited.
Yep.
I know people who are lower middle and middle class are super excited about all this inflation, aren't you?
Yep.
Sarcasm.
Yep.
I have seen, so on that note, like the privilege takes that I see from the people on LinkedIn, especially what I like to call them the laptop class.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, it's a thing.
And so this guy, it's a public post. I don't care if he's putting on blast. You can look at my screen right now. His name is Matt Bertram, head of digital strategy. He's a web growth expert in digital strategy. He shared and then put truth, LOL, this image, and it says, from a different guy, this new marketing campaign for remote work is really good. And it's got a picture of gasoline. I got to imagine it's on one of the coasts or something like that, but like $7.25 for regular, $7.45 for plus, $7.75 for Supreme. And what I had to say is I go, tell that to the blue collar guy with the truck trying to make ends meet. What a privileged laptop class take. And then actually one of our former employees jumped right in there, Josh Kern. Some folks are in for a shock when they suddenly realize they can't eat cloud data. It's such a Josh Kern response. I love it. I still love you, Josh. I think you're great. And then some other guy like just said something way too long. It didn't even matter. And then
another one, yeah.
Yeah, and then one of our former students said, "Agreed, Lance. No reason to mock folks who must drive and can't afford it for whatever reason. I've definitely been there. Also, are there really $7 gas prices these days? To me, this seems like misinformation. It's really not, Matt. Anyway,
but here's what I mean. In the most lightest sense, you could just take it as, hey, it's a joke image, blah blah blah. They made a joke, but what they need to realize by this, and what you're pointing out is, I don't think a lot of people realize that what makes the economy work is the blue collar people, and that's what
polite society
does not realize.
I would encourage everybody to. So Mike Rowe was on Adam Carolla. You should listen to it this weekend. Adam Carolla does these just one-on-ones, and I think Adam Carolla is one of the best interviewers in the industry by far. And that's exactly what Mike Rowe's point was like, polite society doesn't exist without the dirty jobs.
Yep. And also the comment about can't eat, cloud data storage and stuff like that is like your food prices are going up because of that. And they'll say, well, those of us who can should stay at home in laptop class, and that would be us contributing, and that's a generous interpretation of it, and that's sort of that's okay in a sense. We already talked about. I actually think that this. Well, I actually got to put the blame on the government, and we could go on deeply because they caused this inflation and the shutdowns and all that, right? But there was this whole supply chain issues, right? And you could also blame that on the shutdown, and the workers couldn't do their work and all that. I also blame it on the laptop class because they don't have a quick feedback loop. Because when
there's no feedback loop.
Yeah, because when ships need to go to port, when you need to increase workers, how do you know? Did you know one of the problems? There was many problems at the port of California when this happened. One of the problems was they didn't increase shifts. They did not increase shifts to get all the supplies off to then put them on trains and get them going. Why do you think that happened? My theory is why that happened is because HR and whoever was managing that was remote. They didn't give a shit. It's not that they didn't give a shit. They didn't. I'll put it this way. They didn't give a shit to go down there and figure out the thing because they didn't have to, because they were remote workers. And you don't have that feedback loop. The infrastructure. So this is credit to how important you remote workers are in the whole infrastructure. If you aren't literally actively managing, and the only way you can actively manage is to actually go down to the plant and see what's going on, you're causing huge disruptions, and I don't think you know it because you're sitting there getting your work done, and that's enough to get paid.
Yeah,
that's enough to get paid, and that's why Elon Musk said. I think it was executive staff. Yep. It's like if you are executive. HR and you're HR Fremont, you need to be in the Fremont factory. You need to be.
Our workers are here. The people getting the tangible work done.
The human resources. Are there. HR head of human resources. You need to be where your people are. There are some that I do understand, and you understand. There's some remote work that can be done. blah blah. And you don't need.
And it's not right. And some people are probably the best at working remote. But
Sure.
I just again do not buy. That's why the title of this episode is the work from home revolution fading. Okay. Some other stuff I want to touch base about. It has to do with everything around our industries, construction, architecture, and just general business, because the housing sector is such a huge factor in American society. There's LinkedIn has had some really great news lately. I just I don't know. I'm on LinkedIn enough to just kind of see what the general feel is of everything. Mostly, there's no politics there, which I like. This article is by Melissa Cantor, editor at LinkedIn News. Time to ditch single-family homes. Al loves that.
Yeah.
She goes on to say, how does the housing crisis end? Some say to fix the soaring real estate prices is for Americans to give up on the single-family dream. It's a question that's playing out in real terms in Steamboat Springs, Colorado, which has a rare opportunity to build affordable housing on 536 acres it received from an anonymous donor. Time reports. But despite the link between density and affordability, many residents don't want to live in apartments or multifamily units. Big surprise, right? I would take a very, very small house, one person said during a community meeting. And then there's some comments further on here. With housing prices reaching unaffordable levels for the middle class pretty much all across the U.S., Time magazine is wondering if the single-family home has run its course in favor of townhomes and apartments that in many cases will be rented by REIT, private equity companies that are splurging in the residential real estate market.
Do you think this is a move? Here's the differential.
Yep. Yes, keep going. I think this is the move? But the last sentence I got to say it is, for the middle-class American, having a single-family house is still the preferred solution. I honestly think it's for almost everybody except maybe single people in their 20s.
Yes. Yep. Love to go to baseball games and whatever and have fun and go to cool bars. Here's a question. Do you think this is basically saying time to ditch single-family homes, ? And are the two options either we're going to ditch that for you to become a renter of a townhomes or apartment, or a renter of or a owner of a townhome / apartment?
I think it's probably both is their thought process.
Yep.
But I definitely think it's their multifamily situations is what they're pushing for.
Yep.
Which then goes to the whole you'll own nothing and be happy.
Yeah. Do you know what the concern is for me because of that? Is because these different housing types lead to different options that whoever owns the bigger property can do. So this comes from experience. I look at real estate almost daily, right?
Just prices and stuff?
Just prices, sure. Right? Just keep up. And I was always baffled about a year ago about why trailer parks in Boulder County, which probably average sales price is $700,000. You could get, even last year, a trailer for like $155,000. And some people redo them and make them nice on the inside. Some people over in my area, they even have like solar panels on them. Mm-hmm. The new trailers that you can buy, like they're manufactured in a building, like they're actually decent. And I'm like, how in the world in Boulder County, which Boulder County for hiking, for fishing is absolutely amazing.
It's the best.
Right? The amount of parks and trails and open space, which Lance loves, is all over the place.
Ah. So he enjoyed the open space with me the other day. Keep going, Al.
So anyways, the rent on a $155,000 thing in Boulder County just makes sense. Like, yep. You could be a remote worker or tech person. Like, why wouldn't you in your 20s just buy that, right? Then I learned about park fees. Do you know about park fees?
Mm-hmm.
So basically, you have to pay a lot fee for your trailer, and it should be something around $150 a month, something like that. But depending on your area and depending on the market, I know even outside of Boulder County and Weld County, which is rural,
park fees, yep.
They increase those to, guess what? Double, you think, Lance?
I would say double.
Okay, double. Triple? Nope. $1,000 a month. $1,000 a month. Because they can. So now
why can they?
What's rent in the area? It's $2,000, right?
Yeah.
Your $100,000 thing only costs you $1,000 a month or even $800 a month to pay off that mortgage, right? So there's a gap of $1,200. Who's going to, if your only other option to get out of the trailer park is to pay $2,000. So the trailer park people know this and they'll go, oh, we'll charge you $1,000 for a park fee. Now your bill is $1,800. Your option, your next best option is $200 more than what you have right now. So I'll use this term, like they're literally robbing you of however much the market can bear in elasticity because they own the land. So what I'm getting at is that in these situations where you don't own the land, you know, there's HOA fees, right? Yeah. But you could literally like just vote them out, right?
Sure.
Where you don't own the land, if they literally can give you any sort of fees like that you cannot control, you no longer will be saving money. Right. Where my rent is locked in because I bought my house 3 years ago.
What an interesting circle you're making.
It's locked in.
Yep, I'm following.
Yep. The other way, it's not locked in. So that's where I'm afraid of, is that all of a sudden you have this house, this multifamily thing, where maybe in the beginning, hey, rent's only $1,000, $1,500. Oh, does someone else control this other fee that you cannot get out of, and then we'll always increase it to match right at the market or right below the market? Mm-hmm. Now it's just as unaffordable. And that's where the single family model is so attractive, because it's so easy for people to understand, like, no, this is mine. This is what my rent is going to be for the next 30 years. Done. HOA fees, I might have to fight that a little bit or be okay with, but they're not going to fluctuate like lot fees at all.
Yeah. Well, I have some good news for everybody who is still, who's wondering about, am I ever going to be able to afford a house? Am I an investor? All that kind of stuff. And every month I take a look at it. Like I usually get excited around like the 4th or 5th of every month, because then the numbers come out for Denver Metro, Boulder County, where we operate, the house prices. So from the Denver Post here, we've got Metro Denver housing market, pandemic peak wanes in May. Price gains flattened and the inventory of homes available for sale continued to rise in May. Early signs that the gravity of higher mortgage rates might finally be starting to pull the Denver Metro's housing market back to earth, according to a monthly update from Denver Metro Realtors. So to put that in perspective, the numbers are, there were 3,652 homes and condos available for sale at the end of May in Metro Denver, which is 14% more than the number available at the end of April. So houses are staying on the market longer. We are kind of getting back to a normal-ish sort of market. More noticeable, they go on to say, the inventory was 76% higher than at the end of May 2021, when the market was starved for supply.
That means there was like 600 homes available. That's crazy.
Insane. Yeah. Which makes sense, right? Price, supply and demand, right? We go over that a lot in this show. The inventory of a single-family homes available was 116% higher than a year ago, while the inventory of condos and townhomes was up 11.5%. So the price for single-family homes was down 1.5% from April. This is ones that get put on the market.
Down 1% from the month before.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So the price, looks like we're hitting like a plateau and all of that. And just to kind of put it into we're experiencing essentially hyperinflation, right? 8.6% would be a lot for just a year over year, but you're seeing it per month.
That is the year over year from last year.
Oh, yeah, compared to last year, right?
Yep.
Right, but then I want you to keep in mind that, like, well, what was the year over year from there? And there's a compounding effect. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it is technically hyperinflation.
And they don't count things that really count, too.
The CPI is highly manipulated. It doesn't matter what president's in there, up, down, left, right, inside out.
That'd be a weird one, but
it's probably on the horizon. So, here's the issue, though. So it's like, oh, now we have more houses on the market. Cool. Oh, now it seems like they're not we don't have to be as aggressive when we go to put an offer on it. In fact, there's even some what you could list for $550 last month, maybe you can only list for $540, and then maybe it'll keep trending that way over the summer. What if your job goes away and then you can't even have the house?
Well, there was, but Lance, listen to the Crown. The Crown said they only lost, I can't remember, maybe you can look it up, but they lost only 250,000 jobs. And as of right now, that negative job growth is not concerning. So it's not concerning yet.
Not concerning. It's kind of like how inflation was transitory and then it wasn't, and
Yeah.
just kind of.
It will only become concerning when it is concerning. How dare you try to look in the future and say, wait. We can slowly turn. No.
Okay. On to kind of the topic, the overall topic, the headline of this show, and that is the work from home revolution fading? So another LinkedIn article here, this one from Alessandra Reimer, nice name, editor at LinkedIn News, is the work from home revolution fading?
I'm going to say Reamer.
It could be Reimer.
Let's put it out there.
The great debate of remote versus in-person work continues. While at least 7.4% of American workers are still working from home due to COVID, this number is considerably down from 35% at the height of the pandemic, federal data shows. Yes, hybrid systems are still in demand, but WFH, work from home, faces its own set of drawbacks, including Zoom fatigue and longer hours with less productivity. These factors are driving some CEOs to curtail hybrid work. It's becoming increasingly apparent that Zoom and Google Chat aren't substitutes for in-person dynamics, argues Axios.
Yep.
And I would agree. I think Al's big point that he made, a couple episodes ago or whatever, was the teams are going to outcompete.
Yes. Football teams that work together will crush football teams that remotely practice.
Yeah. There's no I in team.
Yep.
So, just wanted to touch base on that because again, I think if somebody said to me, you have three choices, Lance, you can take your firm and go all the way remote, or you can go all the way in. You have to be there every single day, or maybe you're just flexible.
Right.
And I go, the flexibility, because that's where it's at. It's like Alex Gresh. He had to go to the courthouse just a little bit ago.
Yep.
Took half hour off of his day. No big deal. He'll make it up.
Yep.
Go get a marriage license or something. Like these little personal things. Like whatever.
I also like work from home Wednesdays. Like it breaks up the week perfectly.
It does. It really does.
Yeah.
No, but I would say that's part of the flexibility. Yeah. So
Yeah.
if like the third one is work from home Wednesdays plus flexibility, yeah, that's the way to go.
You know what I also like about it too? That I was actually looking forward to because I think I was the only one in. I can't remember if one of our other guys was in.
On Wednesday?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was just you.
It could have been one of the
Check out Fishing with
blue
Lance.
collar.
Check. Oh, okay.
Blue collar.
Yeah, it was probably Baca.
But we still had our Monday morning meeting. So it still kicked off like, today's a work day. Everyone's here, blah, 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 in different areas. So it was great.
Yeah. Well, Nick is not with us today, so instead we have a very special guest. Sam Hyde is going to read for us.
Every day, I'm aware of how limited the window is to make the money. And this applies to all of you, no matter what you're doing, whether you're doing something creative, whether you're doing something blue collar,
or soul crushing,
or whether you're talking about just enjoying life, like the window of life where you are cancer free, or you have a special friend, or you're not beset by agonizing girl problems, or very importantly, where money is coming in. And also people rag on me for talking about money too much. Money is your life energy. Money is the fuel that you use to, for example, help your mother out of the hospital. Whatever your money is, your life force. It's a claim on all other types of energy. Okay.
What do you think? What are your thoughts?
So I agree. There's a balance. Money does equal freedom, but don't let money become your prison.
Ooh, good one. Yeah. I just really like the part about money is your life force. It is. And it's like there's so many different phrases, right? Everybody's heard me say it a million times. Like money isn't everything, but not having it is. Kanye West. It's something I live by. I really like what you just came up with. I like what Sam came up with. I just don't like it's either completely evil or it's completely good. It's a balance.
Yeah. Yep. And I think you got to find that line. It becomes your freedom the more you get it. And then let's just say because the new average, it isn't $75,000. Once you make that amount, your happiness doesn't fluctuate. It's now 104. So let's say you're getting to that 100 mark. Now you need to decide will more money give me more freedom, or will more money get me into a prison? And then I don't have,
Yeah, and then make your decision accordingly. It's just like profits too. You hear this talking point now, like the corporation should not be able to make profits. Like that's the lifeblood. That's the lifeblood. You cannot operate a company without a profit. Even a non-profit, technically, you need extra money, which is profit. You just have to spend it. It's the only difference between a non-profit and a profit.
Yeah.
Is at the end of the year, you're supposed to show almost zero in non-profit. Anyway, what do we got next?
We got A.R.E. Jeopardy. Let's bring down the team. All right, everyone ready? Question number 1. What does the second number on the wide flanged nomenclature designate? Is it A, its height, B, its width, C, its weight, or D, its pounds per foot?
Tricky.
So tricky. Okay. DD. Yes, pounds per foot. Correct. Yeah, just you. All right, question 2. This is IBC 2018. The thickness of concrete floor slabs supported directly on the ground shall not be less than how many inches? Is it A, 3.5, B, 4, C, 3, D, 2.5? Those are all inches.
Can you say the question one more time?
Okay. Thickness of a concrete floor slab supported directly on the ground shall not be less than how many inches? B. B is correct, 4 inches. 2-2.
2-2. Number 3. Electricity flowing in a conductor is called what? A, electricity. B, bitey hot lightning in a conductor.
Ooh.
C, current. D, flow. Electricity flowing in a conductor is called what? The correct answer is C, current.
All right.
Great job. You got 3?
Yeah.
Ooh, would this be your first W? Oh, okay.
In a while.
3-2. Number 4. What is electricity flowing through a conductor measured in? Is it A, amps, B, volts, C, voltage, D, amperes, E, A, and D?
Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom.
Yeah, I threw you off.
I'm guessing.
Boom, boom.
Good guessing, Reeves. You are the winner.
Where are we
Correct
going to
answer
eat?
is E, A, and D. Amps or amperes. Amps is just short for amperes.
It's a jumper. I don't know. Did we say Bruce?
The Roost.
The Roost.
Wow, congratulations
Good job.
on picking the correct thing. Congratulations to you who's watching on the YouTube. Please like, subscribe, leave us a comment. If you're listening on iTunes, leave us a 5-star review. We will see you next week.